Once upon a time, in a vibrant Caribbean village called Belle Riviere, you could almost smell the salt in the air and hear the waves crashing. There lived a young woman named Nyoka. She was bright like the morning sun, with skin smooth and rich like the finest cocoa and hair like the spring of fresh rain. But Nyoka wasn't just pretty. She had a fire in her heart for carnival. The drums, the dance, the life of it all. Carnival was her dream, her everything. She wanted to be crowned Queen of Carnival, and she worked hard day and night toward that dream. By day, Nyoka helped her father Milo with his fishing trade. Milo, a kind and weathered man, adored his daughter and admired her determination, but he worried about her obsession with carnival. Nyoka, he often said, while they cleaned fish together, carnival is meant to bring people together, not to make them chase after empty crowns. Nyoka would smile and wave him off, her thoughts already drifting to the colorful costumes she designed in her free time. She longed for the day when the villagers would chant her name, and the handsome and wealthy Marcus Duval, the son of a merchant, would finally notice her. Marcus was tall and regal, with smooth features that made the young women of Belle Riviere swoon. He never paid Nyoka much attention, but she was certain that if she were crowned Carnival Queen, he would see her worth. Unbeknownst to Nyoka, there was someone who already saw her value: her childhood friend Kendall. Kendall was an average-height man with kind eyes, and his hands could summon magic from his drum. He had been in love with Nyoka for as long as he could remember, but he never told her. Instead, he stood by her side, helping her whenever she needed it. He carried her fabrics, tuned her drum, and played rhythms for her to dance to under the moonlight. As long as she's happy, Kendall would tell himself, even as his heart ached for her. One evening, as the carnival preparations reached their peak, Nyoka found herself restless. She had poured her heart and soul into her costume and dance, but something felt missing. She wandered into the rainforest, following the rustling leaves. It was then that she heard it, a deep rhythmic drumming, unlike anything she had ever encountered. The sound seemed to come from the earth itself, calling to her. Before she could touch it, a figure emerged from the shadows, a glowing spirit in the form of a regal woman wrapped in flowing, shimmering cloth. "Who dares approach the Tanbou Anba Zetwal?" the spirit asked, her voice both melodic and commanding. Nyoka hesitated, but her determination outweighed her fear. "I am Nyoka," she said. "I didn't seek the drum, it called to me." The spirit studied her. "This drum is no ordinary instrument. It reflects the soul of the one who plays it, amplifying their desires and intentions. If you play it with a pure heart, it will bring joy and unity. But if your heart is clouded by greed or pride, it will bring sorrow. Do you wish to awaken its power?" Nyoka thought of Marcus, the crown, and the life she dreamed of. "Yes," she said, "I will play the drum." The spirit warned her again, but Nyoka's ambition was unwavering. She danced in the clearing, her movements guided by the drum's rhythm. As she played, she felt its power surge through her. Visions of her triumph filled her mind, herself crowned as Carnival Queen, the villagers chanting her name, and Marcus kneeling before her. But the visions darkened, showing shadows of doubt and despair. Nyoka dismissed them, certain that her dreams were within reach. The next day, Nyoka performed at the Carnival Festival in her village, her every move captivating the crowd. The Tanbou Anba Zetwal amplified her rhythm, and the villagers cheered louder than ever before. She was crowned Queen of Carnival, and for a while, everything was perfect. Shortly after she won Queen of Carnival, Marcus started to shower her with attention, inviting her to stroll with him through the village and gifting her fine jewelry. She reveled in her newfound fame and reign as Carnival Queen. It was everything she had dreamed it would be. The villagers adored her, treating her like royalty. Everywhere she went, children followed, calling her name and asking for stories of her carnival victory. Merchants gifted her colorful fabrics, sweet mangoes, and freshly baked bread. At every gathering, her entrance was met with applause and admiration. Her costume became the talk of the region, its golden sequins and peacock feathers sparkling in the sunlight, a symbol of her triumph. Men whispered about her beauty, and women envied the attention she received. But it wasn't just her looks or talent that the villagers admired. They saw her as a symbol of hope, someone who had risen from humble beginnings to achieve greatness. Nyoka thrived in this newfound spotlight. She walked through the village square with her head held high, her laughter ringing out like music. For the first time, she felt truly seen, valued, and powerful. Yet, not everyone celebrated with her. Her father, Milo, observed her transformation with cautious eyes. "You're the carnival queen now, my Nyoka," Milo said one evening as they shared a quiet dinner. "But don't let the crown blind you to the things that truly matter." Nyoka smiled at him, but her mind was elsewhere. She had just received a letter from Marcus Duval, a note written in elegant script, inviting her to a private dinner at an upscale restaurant on a neighboring island. With the letter came a gift, a stunning gown of deep crimson silk, its fabric as smooth as water. Marcus had finally noticed her, truly noticed her. It was everything she had wanted. The night of the dinner arrived, and Marcus sent a small boat to ferry Nyoka to the island. As she stepped aboard, the gown he had gifted her clung to her figure, its rich color glowing under the moonlight. She felt like a princess in a fairy tale. When she arrived at the restaurant, she was greeted by the soft glow of lanterns strung across palm trees. The air was filled with the scent of fresh seafood and the sound of a live jazz band playing in the background. Marcus was waiting for her at a table overlooking the ocean, dressed in a tailored white linen suit that highlighted his regal features. He stood as she approached, a charming smile spreading across his face. "You look stunning, Nyoka," he said, pulling out a chair for her. The evening unfolded like a dream. Marcus ordered the finest dishes, grilled lobster drizzled with lime butter, roasted plantains, and sweet coconut pudding. They drank champagne from crystal glasses, and Marcus regaled her with stories of his travels and business ventures. He spoke of the grand life he led, and hinted at the possibility of Nyoka joining him in it. Nyoka hung on his every word, feeling like she had finally arrived at the life she had always wanted. As the night wore on, Marcus leaned closer, his voice low and smooth. "You deserve more than this small village, Nyoka. A woman as beautiful and talented as you should be seen by the world." Her heart swelled at his words. Here he was, the man she had dreamed of, not only noticing her, but promising her a life of grandeur. But behind the intoxicating charm, Marcus's smile never quite reached his eyes. Back in the village, Milo waited for Nyoka's return, his heart heavy with worry. He had seen the same Marcus charm other young women before, only to leave them behind once the novelty wore off. Though he wished for his daughter's happiness, he feared that Marcus's attention was more about the allure of her crown than her heart. Meanwhile, Kendall watched from a distance, his own heart aching. He had always known that Nyoka wanted more than what their simple village could offer, but seeing her drift further away felt like losing a piece of himself. Still, he remained by her side, helping where he could, hoping she would eventually see the truth. For a time, Nyoka was too dazzled by her new life to notice the subtle changes around her. The villagers' adoration began to feel hollow, their praise less enthusiastic. Marcus's attentions, though grand, started to feel transactional. He paraded her around like a trophy, showing her off at gatherings but rarely asking about her dreams or thoughts. One day, as she prepared for another evening with Marcus, Milo approached her. "Nyoka, my child, you're shining bright now, but don't let others dim your light by using it for their own gain." Nyoka brushed off his words, though they lingered in the back of her mind. For the first time, she felt a crack in the perfect life she had built. Nyoka began to notice things she hadn't before. Marcus, while attentive in public, grew cold in private. He was quick to compliment her looks, but never her character. When she spoke of her love for dancing or her dreams beyond carnival, he dismissed them with a charming laugh, steering the conversation back to himself. But as the weeks passed, Nyoka began to change. The applause that had once thrilled her now felt routine. She became dismissive of those who didn't praise her, including her father and Kendall. Marcus's charm grew cold, and she realized he only cared about parading her as a trophy. Still, she clung to her crown, believing it to be her key to happiness. At the same time, the villagers who once adored her began to whisper. They missed the humble, vibrant Nyoka they had known before the crown. She had become distant, caught up in the world of Marcus and high society, and they felt the loss keenly. Kendall, despite her growing distance, remained by her side. "Nyoka," he said one evening as they sat by the shore, "are you truly happy?" "Of course I am," she replied, but her voice lacked conviction. Kendall didn't press her further, but his quiet love and concern lingered. After several weeks, the night of the Grand Carnival Ball brought everything to a head. Nyoka performed with the Tanbou Anba Zetwal, but the drum's rhythm turned dark and chaotic. A violent wind tore through the square, and the villagers fled in fear. Marcus stepped back, his disdainful expression revealing the truth. He had never truly cared for her. As the chaos unfolded, Kendall appeared, his drum in hand. "Nyoka, come with me," he said, and she followed him into the rainforest, leaving the cursed drum behind. By the river, Kendall spoke from his heart. "Nyoka, you've always been enough, with or without the crown. You don't need a drum or Marcus's attention to prove your worth." Tears streamed down her face as she realized the truth in his words. Together they returned the Tanbou Anba Zetwal to its resting place. Nyoka danced one final time, not for fame, but for forgiveness. Kendall's drum joined hers, their rhythms blending into a melody of healing. The spirit of the drum appeared, her expression softened. "You have learned the lesson of the drum," she said. "True greatness lies not in what others think of you, but in the love and humility you carry in your heart." The drum vanished, and Nyoka returned to the village with Kendall. She apologized to the villagers, her father, and most importantly, to herself. Over time, she rebuilt her relationships and found joy in the simple things. Kendall, who had loved her all along, became her partner in life and music. Together, they taught the village children the lessons of the drum, ensuring its story would never be forgotten. What do you think of Nyoka's journey? Have you ever chased a dream that didn't turn out how you imagined? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore similar type of stories, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next tale. Until then, keep dreaming and let the rhythm of life guide you.